Right guys, AndyWork here. Here we have the DoubleUp kit. So installation of this is pretty simple. You don't have to worry about cleaning up the top part of this really, because it's going to be inside the blaster. So you've got your pistol grip, your front muzzle, and your 6 interchangeable side vents. Use whatever you want. Now of course the only other thing you need is a double strike. Now because I'm upgrading this, I'm calling this the DoubleUp upgrade. So first thing you do, get your screwdriver and take out all your internals. And 7, there we go. Now very carefully pry open your blaster. Okay, so there's the inside of our blaster. As soon as you've got it open, what you want to do is take a photo of the inside, so you know where all the bits go. Check your photo, make sure it's not moved or blurry. Yep, good, fine, okay. Simple. Now you just pull everything out. Pull your cylinder out. Don't lose your little spring. These are very tight on, and since I did the last one of them, I don't know if Hasbro has started using solvent glue, but rest screwdriver on here, get it under the end, and just lift up, and there we go. Yeah. No solvent glue, just very tight fit. There we go. Okay, so take your base out, take your spring off. Same thing goes for this, just find a place to wedge under there and push it up. Just clicks off. Right, so take your trigger out. Once you've got your trigger off, you got the spring there in the position it's supposed to be mounted in, so good idea to take a photo of that so you can know exactly how it's supposed to sit. Okay. So you can pull the entire hammer unit out. Now you can use this opportunity to plug that with styrofoam or something and hot glue it up. Put some tape under the O-ring, put some lubrication in there, all those sorts of things. Pull your trigger return spring out. Don't lose it, because that would be bad. So the blaster's empty now. What you do is you put your 2 halves back together and put all the screws back in. Now don't be tempted just to put the 3 up here back in the handle, because we're going to cut that off now. But I'm going to put them all in just so I know I've got a nice, tight, aligned fit. Okay. So you've got that all nice and tight and hold. Now, getting the pistol grip off this is really, really simple. It's not a challenge at all. I've designed it so it fits along that line, like that. So, to get that off, you simply get your razor saw. Mine's a bit rusty, but still nice and sharp. And just butt it up against this plastic bandage that they've moulded onto the handle. And just do 2 or 3 passes, and as you do, just rotate the blaster so you're always resting on that bandage. And this is a much safer way to do it. It may seem a bit counterintuitive, but it's a much safer way of doing it. If you try to start on this side and cut through, I guarantee the blade will move one way or the other and you'll cut it wrong. So just do a few passes, and as you can see, I'm sort of cutting as I move it. It just works so easily and quickly, and you'll get a nice, neat cut and very little sanding and clean up to do. It's all the way through now. Last bit. There we go. And if I'm clever, I can use that for something else. Don't know what, but anyway. So there we have our body minus the pistol grip. Just clear off a bit of the waste on the inside. Also you can scrape the edge on the outside with the back of the blade. Takes off any burr. Okay, so what we do now is reopen it. There we go. So got the screws out. Very easy to pull it apart. You can just put your finger in there. Now that we've got the barrel, the ARs out of the barrel, and we've put a bit of sponge rubber in there and we're ready to go, it'd be lovely to say this just drops in. Unfortunately it doesn't. There's a few supports for these bolt holes. One there, one there, one there, and there's a small protrusion here. I'll take photographs and put them into video, and all you have to do is just cut off the bits that I shade a different colour. Now, those pieces have been shaved off, and here's my new pistol grip, and it just goes click straight in. We won't put anything together yet, let's just show you how it closes over. Straight on top, click. Nice tight fit, no screws, so that's pretty good. Now before we screw that together, we've got to modify the barrels. So the front cover goes on, and it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's just basically taking off this top bit and this little bottom bit, so that slides all the way in up there. And that I just do with the Dremel, straightforward. You can do it with a razor saw or anything, but Dremel's good enough. You don't really have to worry about being that neat at the top because it fits perfectly in there. So just as long as you cut a straight line right across there, you're fine. Now we'll put it all together. Now this is the tricky bit where it's really good to have 3 hands or a good mate who can help you. I'm going to do it myself because I've done it a few times and I sort of know all the tricks, but just bear with me. So first you've got your spring in, and I'll take a photo of this where where to put the catch for the spring so you get enough movement and the spring works really well. You put your trigger in the spring first, then you put your barrel and your piston in, taking note where that hook goes over that screw post, and that little rubber band there is like a shock absorber for when it hits that. So that goes there, and without even trying, the connecting mechanism has fallen onto its own pin. So put that in, so that's actually flush with the connecting mechanism of the hammer. So once you've got your hammer and your guide rod in, you got your pistol grip, you get your trigger brace that goes across the top here. It goes with the 2 holes uppermost and this little arm coming down, and this is the one we've trimmed a bit off that fits through that hole there. So hold it like that with your thumb, put your spring in like that, and slide it up over the spring guide. At the same time sliding the trigger brace up over the pins it's supposed to be going over, and the pistol grip up over the pins they're supposed to be going over. Isn't this fun? It actually is relatively easy. It drops into place pretty simply. It's just a matter of getting everything in the right place like that. So check your trigger's not catching. Everything's in place. You can hold everything and do a test cock. There you go. And that's it. It's all in. Put your 6 screws back in. Okay, next is just the barrel shroud. Just slides on like that. What we've got here is a screw placement pedestal with a hole in it. So all you need to do is get yourself a fine drill, a Dremel. I'm just using a pin vise. We've drilled a hole and put our screw in, so we've got a shroud on. So this is a red dot holder. You can buy them on Amazon, 19mm diameter. It's got a slot out the back here where the pressure switch comes out and the cable comes out, and then you can just put it on your top like that. There'll also be another model of this with this integrated under here, so you can put it there if you want. And then the last thing is you've got these 6 side pieces. You can use, one each side. You can use 2 different ones, whatever. And all they do is you put them on and they click in. Right guys, one last thing on these side plates is, although they click in, there is a chance that they could be knocked out during play, whatever. I wouldn't suggest you glue them because you don't want to get them stuck to the shell. So what I do is after you've put it back together, if you want to make sure these are not going to go anywhere, put a little blob of silicone on there, like you know, window sealant, that sort of stuff. In Australia we call it Selly's All Clear. It's really tough stuff. Just a little blob right in the centre and put that down, and that'll hold it in place. But if you ever should have to pull the blaster apart to do anything to it, it's just a seal, it's just a rubber seal. You can just pull it off, reapply some more. Okay? So yeah, that would be the way to do it. And on these ones, you'd probably have to very sparingly put a little bit up either side. And also, you know, paint the shell underneath, paint the air piston underneath, you know, some suitable colour, silver, black, whatever. Anyway, you go. There you go, guys. The double up kit for the double stripe, ready to go on my Etsy site. I'll put the link down below. Hope to hear from you. See you next time.